So finally, we meet the Duke, Leto Atreides. Finally. About 50 pages, well, a little bit less than 50 pages in, but finally, the much talked about Duke, Leto Atreides, we finally meet him. And I do enjoy his introduction. It's very informative. It is very different from the way that the character is introduced in the Sega CD video game adaptation, where he's right there at the beginning. The character of Paul, who you play in the video game. You walk into the room where the Duke is standing right there. You walk up to him, and you click on the character. It's a point and click adventure game, and you click on the character, and he's like, "Hello, Paul. I am Duke Leto Atreides, your father." So I've always thought that was very interesting. How this character is telling you something that you would already know. But in the book, he doesn't really tell Paul something that he would already know. They talk about spice. They talk about the concept of what's going on, and we get insight into what this is all about. It all revolves around spice. Essentially, what it is. He who controls the spice controls the Shome Company. The Shome Company. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it, but CHOAM, which stands for Combine Honnête Ober Advancer Mercantiles, the Shome Company. Okay, so that's what it's all about. They mine spice. The Harkonnens want the spice. The Atreides want the spice. Everybody wants to control the spice. That's what this is all about. We have pages and pages of Duke Leto Atreides explaining to Paul what this is all about, and it's about the spice. Oh yes, Dr. Yue. I believe that's what it is. It's very, very helpful how at the start of the chapter we have an excerpt from the Dictionary of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. Princess Irulan seems to have, so far at least, she seems to be responsible for all the writings, all the ancient or sacred writings of this world. Somehow they've all been written by the Princess Irulan. Okay, but it's the Dictionary of Muad'Dib, and Yue is actually an entry in the dictionary in capital letters. Yue tells us how to pronounce it. I believe, based on this pronunciation guide, it's Yue. So, Dr. Yue, we also meet him. At least I finally read about Dr. Yue in this section, so and now I understand that he is being compelled to participate in this betrayal. And right there in the dictionary definition, it says, chiefly noted as betrayer of Duke Leto Atreides. So these are historical writings. We already know that eventually this person is going to betray Duke Leto Atreides. Kind of dilutes the suspense just a little bit, but we already know it's going to happen. We don't know how. We don't know when it's going to happen. And yes, he's being compelled because from what we can tell here, Dr. Yue actually is a compassionate man who feels very conflicted about the fact that he's being forced to betray Duke Leto Atreides. Yes, Yue he's observing Paul, and we are privy to his thoughts frequently throughout this observation, and how the boy has filled out these past few months. Such a waste. Oh, such a sad waste. I must not falter. What I do is done to be certain my Wana no longer can be hurt by the Harkonnen beasts. My Wana. Maybe it's pronounced Vana. I think that's Wana. My Wana. Wana? My Wana no longer can be hurt by the Harkonnen beasts. I'm assuming this is something very precious to him. Not sure what it is. There's a mention of his wife. His wife is already dead. At least that's the way I'm seeing this. So clearly there's something very precious to him, his Wana, and because of that, he's being compelled, pushed towards this place where he must betray Duke Leto Atreides, and that's it. And then, we meet Duke Leto Atreides, Paul's father, and we already know this because we've heard about him for the previous 50 pages. Part of the setup here, Paul and his family are now going to travel to Arrakis, and there's that whole deal going on with the spice. And clearly, this plot is meant to either prevent the Duke from arriving to Arrakis, or perhaps prevent him from taking over the spice mining operations there. It's very strange for a science fiction adventure story to be sort of mired in this, let's say, corporate politics, this kind of gobbledygook. It's odd. But this book was written in 1965. I'll give it this much: it's interesting, for sure. Again, not a lot of action and adventure in this adventure story. However, I am very intrigued to see how this all kind of shakes out. 50 pages in, this is past. I'll let you guys know when I'm at like the 100 page mark. That's about as far as I've ever gotten. Once I pass that, then you'll be the first to know there. Here's an interesting detail. The Duke speaks to his son about, "Your mother wanted me to be the one to tell you, son. You see, you may have mentat capabilities." So I thought the mentat thing was maybe only, the last time I had seen the term mentat was back when we met the Harkonnens, and the advisor was referred to as the mentat, or at least something like the advisor, the sage, whatever. And I thought that was what that was. Clearly a mentat is, I guess, the same thing as the Kwisatz Haderach, or maybe only a Kwisatz Haderach can be a mentat. All this gibberish that I'm saying is that's what the book is about in the end. Well, clearly there's a lot of prophecy revolving around Paul. He could either be the Kwisatz Haderach, he could be a mentat, maybe it's one and the same. I don't know, but I'm intrigued to find out. I'm going to keep pushing on to see where all this goes. There's a lot of danger. The Duke is aware that he's in danger. So much like everybody else seems to be aware that he's in some kind of danger, and they're not, they're not prepared to do anything about it. He himself is aware that he could possibly be in danger, and is also sort of surrendering to his fate, or at least he believes that although he may be in danger, he's self-aware enough to protect himself if necessary. So there's a lot, I guess, to sort of unpack there, but whatever. A day comes when the potential mentat must learn what's being done. It may no longer be done to him. The mentat has to share in the choice of whether to continue or abandon the training. Some can continue, some are incapable of it. Only the potential mentat can tell this for sure about himself. A lot of explaining, a lot of exposition, a lot of world building, 50 pages of world building, and more still to come, I'm sure. But anyway, intriguing. We're meeting all the characters. It's happening. It's coming together. And we'll see where it goes. Wana.